So your game has a deep narrative and intense drama-filled character development? Well, we've got a Hispanic guy in a wingsuit that flies around and blows everything up. Not to toot my own horn, but I think we win. Yo, what is going on, passengers, and welcome aboard the hype train. This week's game is the no-sense, kick-ass action thriller that is Just Cause 4. Flux! I apologize. But Just Cause is a series that has taken destruction and physics to a whole new level. Good lord, I'm not gonna lie, these games are fun as shit. Yo, Tony, bleep that out. And I mean, if you've seen the trailer, Avalanche Studios has done a great job in making this game look fantastically epic. So you're flying in a wingsuit. You ain't Batman, but you're just flying around blowing shit up. Eric, bleep that out. I know, Tony's fired now. You do it. I mean, look at this. You are fighting people with an actual tornado. Like, if you ask me, that's some epic shit. Eric, Tony, get on it, both of you, together. Rico Rodriguez is returning in the 4th installment of the Just Cause series to bring his path of destruction along with him to this new landscape known as Solace. So Just Cause was a series that originally launched back in 2006, and it was an action game where you could straight up blow a lot of stuff up in an amazing, visually spectacular fashion. Like, if Vin Diesel was a video game, this would probably be it. Just Cause 4 is developed by Avalanche Studios and published by Square Enix. Now that I think about it, Square Enix has their finger in a lot more video games than I expected. Just Cause 4 is nice in that it's an open game that takes open world seriously, as it's a free form, go anywhere you want and do whatever you want at any time. Enrico Rodriguez is in the country of Solis to remove it from underneath the faction known as the Black Hand, led by Gabriela Morales. And she is going to do her very best to make life a living hell for Mr. Rico Rodriguez. And Rico, he's going to do what he does and just blow shit up. Tony. Story mode for this game basically consists of you coming to this country to reveal the secrets of Rico's father's death. But along the way, he has some mishaps with this faction known as the Black Hand because they basically own everything in this place. And that's about as far as you need to get into the story. Because I don't know about you, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to blow shit up! Flux! It's all about its visually spectacular and epic feeling gameplay. And of course, with blowing things up comes the new weapons of the game. New weapons include weapons like the railgun, which fires a big fat with a PH laser at your enemies that you can choose to free fire or to charge up for a more powerful shot. So now every new weapon in this game has a secondary fire. For example, the railgun that I just mentioned also has a feature where it fires a drone. So it shoots lasers and a drone. What is this, Star Wars? How are you going to shoot a drone? This drone will fly in the air and help you out by firing alongside you as you're demolishing enemies. And the classic grappling hook has all new features. For example, you may be wondering, what the frick was that? Well, along with being able to fling yourself across distances, your grappling hook has a new feature called fireable rocket boosters. But you're lucky you're so fun, game, or I would definitely call you on this stuff that doesn't make any sense. You can fire rocket boosters and lifters. That presents a whole new dynamic of gameplay where you can send things crashing into one another. And also, you can fire them to the bottom of your car to make yourself fly. But there are plenty more weapons like that you can get into the game. But speaking of flying in vehicles, there is a whole new variety of vehicles in this game. So before I get into that, there is a new handling system for all vehicles in this game. It is meant to feel slicker, more realistic, and more fun than ever. And whilst driving, you can use a variety of new camera angles, Grand Theft Auto 5 style. And it also comes with a spiffy new radio. Now, you are in South America, so, if you're trying to listen to some Katy Perry, you're just not going to get it, if that's your thing. So here's more likely what you're going to get. I'm sorry if anybody from South America is offended by that. I don't think before I do things. More unique vehicles that you can inflict destruction with, such as a wrecking ball, a crane, and a bulldozer. And returning are the vehicles that we all know and love, like sports cars and jet skis. I mean, who doesn't love a jet ski? And one more vehicle called the Storm Chaser. Now every time you get into this, you have the ability to chase a tornado without getting flopped up in the air and tossed around like a wet sandwich. Was that a viable simile? I don't think it was, but we're gonna go with it. But yes, like a wet sandwich, the Storm Chaser allows you to chase tornadoes in close proximity and launch yourself from the vehicle and use the wind from the tornado to launch yourself in the air. Can I get a hashtag epic? But the tornadoes and other extreme weather we'll get to in a minute. Many items, including the new ones, will require you to complete some sort of milestone or specific mission in order to unlock them. But don't worry, as the supply drop system is implemented, so once you unlock them, you can call upon them whenever you damn well please. Well, there is a cooldown time, but as you progress throughout the game, you will unlock more pilots, and you'll be able to call down more supply drop in quick succession wherever you please. And with the quick drop feature, you can assign a specific thing to a specific pilot, and at the touch of a button, you can have anything at your fingertips, such as a battleship. Yeah, you can drop a battleship out of a plane. I'd never claimed this game to make any sense. Like, it's not. Things you can drop include guns, vehicles, barrels, and basically anything else that's in this game. So by the time you unlock everything, you might literally have the entire game at your fingertips with every battle. Flex! And that transitions nicely into the combat. The combat in this game has changed a little as the AI are smarter than ever before. I always put smarter AI in quotation because a game, it's just something that games aren't always consistent with. But the AI is smarter in that they will use cover more efficiently, and they will use tactical strategies to try to throw you off your game. And if they're in a car and you're in the way, they will run your ass over. That's using the old noggin. But don't worry, you should have a simple and fun time dealing with these little runts. But unless they swarm you like a pack of zombos, you should just be able to shoot them down and blow them up until they happen to bring out these specialist kinds of enemies. Specialists include an invisible guy, a big fat guy, and 3 annoying guys. So the invisible guy is known as a ghost, and I call him the invisible guy because he can turn invisible. Meaning he can cloak himself in the environment. So it's kind of like this. You can't see me anymore, can you? Aha! I can see that getting annoying if you're ever low on health and get sidelined by an enemy that you can't see. But that's the whole point. But whilst they're invisible, they will charge up one of these strong laser shots and shoot you and then immediately become visible again. So you can use that opportunity to grapple at them and kick them in the face or however you choose to kill these people. Super big fat guy is called a Titan. And for good reason, as this is just a mighty bulky tank man. He can take about 4 or 5 rocket launchers to the face before he dies. Imagine just being able to take a rocket to the face and just eating that just next. Tony, Alex, leave out the last cuss word. Titans also come with that railgun that I mentioned earlier, with that, the one with the big fat charging laser. Yeah, you get those from them, and they ain't gonna drop it easily. But yes, dropped in with a swarm, these guys will be especially tough to deal with. But on to the next, the long-range special enemies include snipers and RPG units, easily distinguishable by their red and green lasers. Red lasers meaning it's a sniper on your butt, and green laser meaning it's a rocket on your butt. But do be aware that both of them will be coming for them cheeks. Now the snipers in this game look like they are terribly accurate. If you stop moving for any reason, they will cap off a piece of your neck, and you need that neck. So the key to being snipers is flying around and make sure they can't get a good line of sight on you. And then the rocket launchers, they have a huge area of effect that will damage you as long as you're in that circle. So, and also the key is to fly around. And then you have a grenader, which is a mid-range enemy, which is basically like a Junkrat from Overwatch. Just constantly firing annoying mid-range delayed grenades.
I won! What did I win?
And this is why I say he's like Junkrat. And when you kill him, he tries to post-mortem on you by dropping a bunch of grenades as he dies that explode almost instantaneously. Then you have machine gunners and riot shields, which both come with mobile shields. Now the riot shield guys They're pretty self-explanatory. They have big giant shields in front of their face, but they're not easy to deal with as you can't simply sneak behind them, as they can turn around and also face you with the riot shield. And if you're flying above them, they can put the riot shield up here and block incoming attacks from all ways. So I say just blow them up. These machine gunners come with a mobile barrier in which they can hide behind and fire their big fat LMG with PH. With these guys you can sort of sneak behind and give them death from above, but if you give them enough time they will reset and replace their barrier in a direction in which you're coming from. And the biggest toughest enemy you'll have to fight is called the Super Elite. Now these guys aren't affected by bullets. What? Yeah, right? Like they aren't affected by bullets at all. So you can like go full Scarface on them, like, say hello to my little friend. Hello. That's exactly what they'll be like because they are not affected by bullets, they aren't affected by your grappling hook, they're barely affected by high impact explosions. So every time you see one of these guys, which are noticeable by their red hoods, you better run or be prepared for a mini boss battle. Because it will almost be like a Dark Souls battle trying to kill these things. Whose mess is this? But a game of this scale wouldn't be anything without a great, big, brand new map. This game takes place in an area called Solis in South America. Oh, it's fake. Completely fictional. Don't look it up. I tried. But it is definitely based off of several locations in South America. This area called Solis looks like a whole new level of beauty with regards to an environmental aspect. And if you ask them, they will majorly contribute it to their new Apex engine. Now if you watch enough of the trailers, you will hear about this engine over and over again. So I took the liberty in doing a little research on the engine itself. So the new Apex engine allows for every object in the world to be calculated in real time. So that means when these giant tornadoes are forming, the way in which objects are tossed around are super realistic and calculated in real time. That's all the game doing that in that moment. So it is a multi-platform, scalable, dynamic framework. Rather than providing a low-level API that requires an actual physics programmer, Apex provides an environment where the artist can create complex, high-level, and dynamic systems without any programming experience. And it comes with an unrivaled draw distance, improved HDR lighting, and strong physics-based aerodynamics. So yeah, this Apex engine sounds like the real deal, and it is likely the reason why this landscape looks so beautiful and this game looks like it's gonna run really well. Really well. Shit. Yo, all 17 of you, you're fired. You're fired. So the world of Solis comes with 4 distinct biomes, one being the rainforest, one being the desert, one being the grasslands, and the last being the alpines, also meaning the mountains. And each of these feature their own dynamic of landscape and wildlife. But I bet what you're actually wanting to hear is about the natural disasters. Ooh. Each of these landscapes features their own natural disasters. The Alpines have terrible blizzards that cause a lack of vision and decreased mobility. The rainforest has conquering thunderstorms that with every crash of lightning sparks a path of destruction. And the desert comes with all-encompassing sandstorms, which are basically the same as a blizzard, except you can occasionally get hit by a rock. And the one you've all seen and been waiting for, tornadoes of the grassland. Have you seen these things? I just gotta drop it one more time. Hashtag epic flex. I apologize for doing the flex thing. I've been working out. But yes, these natural disasters will cause destruction on a massive scale in which you can use to your advantage when fighting a herd of enemies. For example, you can use the wind gust from a tornado to launch yourself in the air and give yourself a distinct advantage. Or you can use a sandstorm or a blizzard as cover when sneaking around a herd of enemies. And in a thunderstorm, somebody can get struck by lightning, which sucks. I hear. I'm sorry, the epicness of this game is kind of taking it all out of me. It's like a whole different grand scale of epic right there. But anyway, whew, I feel like I talked a lot. So it's time. It's hype rating time. Just Cause 4. Gets a 7 out of 10 on the hype scale. Oh snap, whoop whoop whoop. This game should be tons and tons of unadulterated fun. Being able to just blow things up and not care about what's humanly possible while fighting all manner of enemies in epic fashion in a beautiful landscape. Doesn't that just sound amazing? Isn't that what the core of gamers want? Like I said, you're able to fly around and destroy enemies in visually spectacular fashion. You get loads of weapons, loads of vehicles. You can fly a jet, a speedboat, a battleship, a sports car, whatever the freak you want. And all the while killing some bad people. That makes my body moist with anticipation. The only reason why this game doesn't get a higher score is because I believe that great games, along with fantastic gameplay, need a fantastic narrative. And Just Cause games have never been known for their fantastic narrative. As I've mentioned multiple times, that a lot of this game doesn't make sense. But it's all for the sake of fun, don't you know? And some games, not all games need a fantastic narrative. You can't sit there and tell me that you played Grand Theft Auto 5 for the amazing story. I mean, it didn't hurt that Grand Theft Auto 5 did have a great story. But for all intents and purposes, you probably got in that game to blow some shit up. Well, Just Cause 4 is one of those games. It's one of those games where it's just non-stop epic violence that you can take out a lot of anger out on if you're one of those angsty kids that need some sort of release. Just Cause 4 is the game for you. I haven't heard any news about a multiplayer yet. As of now, they haven't released anything, or they're just not doing it in this game. But that's fine. This should be a nice, long, enjoyable single-player campaign. For those of you that are tired of every game being online nowadays. So Just Cause 4 comes out on December 4th, 2018 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the PC. And I hope many people at least give it a try. Gamefly that shiz. Did you know you could rent video games out of a Redbox? $3 a day. Rent it for a day, play it, see if you like it, woo. And then Gamefly's Gamefly. I'm sure we all know what that is. I need sponsors! But anyway, did you agree with my hype score? Did you not agree with my hype score? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, I want you to pop up. Give a quizzical look to that like button. Like it's about to take your sister on a date for the first time. I want you to take her behind the house. I want you to give him a nice little talk and be like, hey, like button. You're taking out a real nice girl. If you do anything to break her heart or make her cry, I'm coming for you. Then I want you to give him a little taste by punching that like button right in the face. So board the hype train today by hitting that subscribe button and follow us as we talk about all things hype. So next week's game is a game that comes out on the same day as Just Cause 4. Something you may not have heard of. Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden. Based off of that, I think you should be intrigued. Anyway, I would like to thank you all very much for watching this episode of the Hype Train. But until next time, Hype Train, baby. Woo, 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 woo. All right, I'm done. I'm going home. Done. Going home. Tony, you're fired. You and Alex and whoever else is over there, you're all fired.